Smash Bros. Ultimate is about 97 days away at the time of recording, not that I'm counting or anything, but I think I really want to talk about how the character roster seems to be being shaped by the fans this time, and actually how that's a bigger deal than it might seem. Before we begin, however, I do just want to address the crowd for a moment. I want to address you guys out there who have been really patient with the channel and the transition it's kind of gone through after Bleach ended. It has taken me a while to upload anything really or do any consistent uploads, but I want to start getting into that now, and I want to kind of just, be upfront with you and say, from now on it's probably going to be Smash Brothers content. That's what I really want to do on this channel. I'm incredibly excited for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Just can't wait for December 7th and really want to talk to someone about it, talk to people who are also super excited about the game. And that's what's going to be happening on the channel here. So if you don't like Smash Brothers, what are you doing? But if you don't like Smash Brothers, then obviously if you want to unsubscribe, I completely understand. If you don't like where the channel is going, that's absolutely fine. It's all part of the changeover period. That's not a problem at all. But if you do like Smash Brothers, then please do stick around. We will be having lots of discussions on the channel, hopefully moving forwards. So yeah, really, I just wanted to get that out of there as a bit of a disclaimer. Wanted to do right by you guys who had stuck with me through all of the Bleach content and now hopefully moving into something else. But yeah, if you like Smash, then hopefully this is going to be one of your go-to places because we will be getting discussions out. And I just wanted to kind of get that off my chest before we got the video underway. So thanks a lot, guys. Just if you want to stick around, keep your support going, then it's obviously hugely appreciated. But if you're not into Smash Brothers, then no hard feelings. I completely understand. So, onto the video. I want to talk about how, for the first time ever, really, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's roster seems to be being shaped by the fans, and that's so unusual for this series. And I want to specifically look at the characters of Ridley and King K. Rool, two of the new characters in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate who have been pretty much two of the most sought-after character inclusions since the series. Pretty much since about Brawl, I would say, about 10 years ago now. So, if you kind of cast your minds back to Brawl, Ridley and K. Rool were nowhere to be seen, and then again with Super Smash Bros. 4, Ridley and K. Rool were nowhere to be seen. Now, if you are a huge Smash fan like me, you might visit certain websites on the internet that are dedicated to Smash, or have huge Smash followings. So, Smash boards, Reddit, GameFAQs, all of these places will talk about Smash quite religiously, and I remember explicitly before Super Smash Bros. 4 visiting Smash boards almost every single day and just seeing people constantly vying for certain characters, and it's always been the same characters as well. I'm talking Ridley, I'm talking K. Rool, I'm talking Gino, I'm talking Isaac from Golden Sun, I'm talking the Skull Kid from Zelda, Ashley from WarioWare. Just these kind of characters, and then the third parties as well, like Banjo-Kazooie, Rayman. Just constantly people will put their heart and soul into an argument as to why this character should be in Smash Brothers. And if you're not a Smash Brothers fan, you're probably thinking, well, what the hell? Why is someone so bothered about who makes it onto the character select screen? But it is a huge deal for those of us who love Smash. If you are immortalized in Smash Brothers, it's a massive achievement for a character, which is why certain characters are, a lot of people think they don't necessarily deserve to be there. Like me personally, I wasn't entirely happy to see Corrin make it in as Super Smash Bros. 4 DLC, not because I have a vitriolic hate against Fire Emblem, but because I thought that myself and the community probably wanted a bit more than, at the time, a relatively obscure Fire Emblem character who seemed to just be there to help market the upcoming Fire Emblem Fates in the West. Obviously Corrin is a unique character though, so that kind of lessens the blow a bit. But there is obviously the meme that there are too many Fire Emblem characters, which there probably are. But we're not going to get into that right now. That's another video for another day. So back on the Ridley topic. Ridley has had a turbulent time with it for Smash Brothers. He's appeared in every Smash Brothers game, which is actually quite interesting. On the original Smash on the Nintendo 64, he appeared on the Planet Zebes stage. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I heard someone pronounce it Planet Zebes the other day, which I really don't like. I think Zebes sounds cooler, but if it is Zebes, let me know in the comments below. He appears as a sprite in the background, just sort of flying around. He appeared in the opening video of Melee, and I'm not going to lie, if I had seen that video, like if I had been, because I think it was E3 it was revealed, if I had been in the crowd and watch the intro movie to Melee, there's a section where Samus kind of jumps in, fires at Ridley, who's carrying a Metroid. And you hear, I think if you watch one of the crowd reaction videos, they go absolutely wild. And it's not hard to see why. They clearly thought Ridley was going to be playable. And to be honest, I would have done as well. That video is a huge tease for Ridley being in the game, but he's actually not. So yeah, Samus sort of fights against Ridley in that opening. Then Ridley's engagement in the series becomes a little bit deeper with Brawl, where he is a boss character in the Subspace Emissary mode. He actually gets fought twice as well. Once as Ridley, once as Meta Ridley. And then in Super Smash Bros. 4, he was a boss character on the Pyrosphere stage, where he comes in his other M design, I believe, and you can get him on your side by defeating him. Super Smash Bros. 4 was probably the biggest example of Sakurai being like, look, I can't make Ridley work, but I'm going to make him as close as possible to a character as I can. And the way he did that was by having Ridley fly onto the stage, engage in the battle, and then if you defeated Ridley, he would then join your team. I think he even had a stock. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember exactly, but I think he had a stock. And so that seemed to be like Sakurai being like, look, I can't make this work, but here he is on a stage with a stock on your team. You just can't play as him. Naturally, that's not good enough. I was disappointed. I wanted Ridley playable, pretty much the same as everyone else. I'm not a huge Metroid fan by any stretch of the imagination. I think Ridley's a cool enough character. And I can understand why people would want him there. I mean, most of the other Nintendo icons have their major villains. So for Ridley to get left out like that, and it didn't help that Metroid representation in Smash Bros. Has been pretty bad overall, up until Ultimate anyway. But yeah, I could see why people wanted Ridley in the game. I remember when we got... Was Ridley revealed in the 50 Things About the Wii U game trailer? I can't remember exactly, but we saw Pyrosphere and then we saw Ridley's shadow, and just the wave of despair on the Ridley Smashboards group was pretty palpable, to say the least. So when Ridley was revealed at the end of E3, given the marquee point at the end of... He was the one more thing at the end of the trailer, people understandably went pretty nuts. I think at this point, before Ultimate was revealed, in terms of Ridley's inclusion, there were two camps. There was the camp I was in, which was, this is his moment, or else he's never going to get in. And then there was the camp that were like, he's not going to get in. So I was pretty happy to see him show up at the end of the trailer as a playable character, about time. Definitely not too big. He has been shrunk down, but he actually looks pretty good, to be honest, I think. And I got a chance to actually use Ridley when I went to Insomnia 63 the other weekend, which I will make a video about pretty shortly. But yeah, regardless, Ridley's inclusion is such a nod to a small vocal subset of fans that it's just incredibly interesting to see. It's incredibly interesting to see with Smash Bros. Ultimate that Sakurai does seem to be shaping the roster to some degree around fan requests for the first time ever. Like, Nintendo have been very kind of I don't know what the word is, but they have never really listened to fans when it comes to the Smash Bros. Roster. It's very much the sort of thing that people have always wanted to have some kind of input in, but never really have. The closest we got was with the Smash Bros. Ballot, which supposedly Bayonetta won. Or at the very least, she was the character who had the most amount of votes that could be reasonably achieved. It's hard to imagine that Ridley perhaps didn't come close to that, although maybe he didn't, because he was already in Smash 4 as a boss. So either way, so it's a really big deal to see Sakurai acknowledge that hardcore subset of fans, specifically Western fans as well, I think, that really wanted Ridley to be playable in the game. And then again with King K. Rool. King K. Rool, obviously the main villain of the Donkey Kong Country series and DK64, that he has slipped into obscurity since then, has been just so high on people's... Like, for the last 10 years or so, people have been dying for King K. Rool to be in Super Smash Bros. And he's finally here, and it's like, why now? Out of all the other times, why now? And it's because Ultimate is being shaped by the fans. And that's so unusual. It's groundbreaking for the series. To see Ridley and King K. Rool in Smash is surreal. Like, both of them on the character select screen is like, this is a dream come true for so many people. King K. Rool I am super hyped about, want to main King K. Rool. I love that his final smash is the game over screen from DK64. That's so cool. But both of them being in the game is Sakurai literally being like, this is who you asked for, and now you're getting them. And Sakurai explicitly said as well that K. Rool was pretty high on the ballot. So that's cool to get that official confirmation that they do seem to be using the ballot for characters. So it's just really interesting. Smash Brothers as a series has always been a love letter to Nintendo's illustrious history, and everyone knows that. The game is practically a museum. But now, Smash Brothers Ultimate is a love letter to the fans that made the series as big as it is. You know, for the first time ever, and this is another video, but Sakurai is really acknowledging the competitive scene, something he's been shy to do in the past, I think is fair to say. And he's really acknowledging it this time, and Ultimate looks to be one of the most competitive iterations in Smash Brothers yet, if not the most competitive. Will it overthrow Melee? Who knows, really. But Sakurai is doing a lot to make it a spectator sport compared to previous Smash games, and that's really exciting, but that's a video in itself for another day. Yeah, but in regards to the character inclusions, just to see Ridley here is crazy. You know, and you have to imagine as well, Ridley was given the marquee moment at E3. So you have to wonder how many people were like, who is this guy? Because Ridley is not he's not Bowser, he's not even Ganondorf, you know, he's not particularly well known. He is a villain of a major Nintendo franchise, but even in most of those games, Ridley's never really the major villain, like the main bad guy. He's often kind of a henchman doing his own thing. So for Nintendo to end the huge Smash Bros. Ultimate reveal presentation with Ridley is more than anything speaking directly to that hardcore subset of fans that have been vocal about his inclusion for the last 10 years. And it's really unlike them to do that, and it's honestly really interesting. And then again to do it with giving K. Rool the marquee moment in the Direct. It's just a really exciting turn of events, and it just makes you wonder who's going to get in next. And it's something we can talk about briefly, I think. You know, if you look back, and like I was saying, I spent every day, pretty much, in the run-up to Smash 4 on Smash boards, partaking in discussion, and just getting really excited to see who will be included. And, you know, more often than not, characters would not make it in that people were desperate to see. And again, we're talking about Geno from Mario RPG, Isaac from Golden Sun. I'm just trying to think who else has been, you know, just people. I can't remember off the top of my head now, I'm completely blanking, but then there are the third parties like Banjo, Rayman, stuff like that. There are so many characters that people desperately want to see. Skull Kid, for instance. And you have to think now, is this the way Sakurai is going to do the rest of the characters? You know, the likelihood of getting Geno has shot up massively for the first time ever, because there's a precedent set now that Sakurai is listening to the fan base. Isaac from Golden Sun has a great chance of making it in, I think. You know, even with Echo characters, Dark Samus and Chrom were two characters that were explicitly wanted, Chrom especially after missing out on Smash 4. And Sakurai even mentions that in the Direct, that they're highly requested characters. So, yeah, I think the future of Smash Ultimate is actually looking very bright, if I do say so myself. I think we're likely to get highly requested characters making it into Smash. I can't speak for third parties, although I do think Banjo-Kazooie is a big possibility. But again, that's a video for another time. But it's just so interesting to see Nintendo acknowledge the fan base for the first time, really, and actually, you know, actually take into account what we want, and to see Ridley and K. Rool make it in back-to-back, pretty much, with Simon Belmont put in the middle there. But Castlevania representation is something people have wanted for ages as well. I would say the big, you know, that's not to say that the original, that Brawl and Smash 4 didn't give people what they wanted. I mean, Brawl had Sonic in it, for crying out loud, and Smash 4 had Mega Man. But, you know, I just think back-to-back reveals of Ridley and K. Rool they're not huge characters like Sonic and Mega Man. They are the more obscure picks that the community has wanted for over a decade now. And it's just incredible to actually see them in the game. And it's just really exciting to see where Sakurai goes from here. You know, I think he is looking at who people desperately want in the game. and I think we're going to get him. I think we're going to get him. There's already huge evidence to the fact that Skull Kid is probably going to be playable. I think the fact that there is a purple and yellow chair behind Sakurai, that can't be ignored. I think that's pretty much them being like, yeah, Skull Kid's in the game. We're teasing him for you. But yeah, it's very, very exciting. Just really cool again, like I said, to see these guys who have fought pretty much an unwinnable war up until now get their returns on the game. So many people being so happy that Ridley and K are all in the game is just awesome. That's not to say that everyone is happy. You know, we have had a fair share of deconfirmations: Waluigi, Ashley, Shovel Knight. The assist trophy list is always going to be full of heartbreak, but that's just the nature of the game. But it is incredible, I think, to see where we are now. So, guys, if you liked the video, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the inclusion of Ridley and K. Rool, and does that mean anything to you as a Smash fan? If you're a heavyweight Smash fan like I am, and you've been following the series, you know, day after day on the blog posts since Brawl or even before that. Let me know what the inclusion means to you. If you've been on any kind of journey with these characters and hoping and praying they make it in, only to be disappointed every time. What does Ultimate mean to you in that aspect? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get a discussion going. And yeah, if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. That would be amazing. That would really help out the channel. And don't forget to subscribe if you're brand new. It'd be lovely to have you. Yeah, I'm trying to again get more content on the channel. Talk more about Smash Bros. Ultimate as we wait for it to come out, because it's still ages away, it feels like. But yeah, that's brilliant, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.